shooter will tell you. That's the easy. Peters again. He was good for a highlight. And then he's shaking his head like, hey, man, they gonna get it.
When you're not playing in the tournament, or even growing up, you don't really appreciate the significance of it, and you don't really grasp the national implications of it, especially when we made the tournament. People had a lot of passion around the fact that I was Jewish, and they felt like I was representing them. But it's been really cool to kind of tap into that side of myself.
Hey Nate, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for taking the time to chat with me. I know this must be a really busy time of year for you. It's sort of coming down to the end of your senior year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm. It's more stuff is freeing up right now, but I have APs coming up in May, so it's gonna start getting more busy towards the end of April. But right now, I'm doing okay.
A little bit of a lull before the end race to the finish. Well, I had an opportunity to see your film. I've actually had a chance to see, I think, all of your film, or most of them. But let's talk about the one today that we're going to be showing. I'm curious as to what was the film you intended to make versus the film you made. Was there a difference?
Yeah. So first, I'm a big sports fan for basketball. As a person who lived playing, growing up playing basketball as well throughout, middle school and then high school and stuff like that, playing AAU during the spring and summer and fall. Really playing it year round. I really want to create a film surrounding, basketball, the achievements that go with it, kind of like the hype around that. And so, when I found Blake Peters, I thought he was the perfect player to do because, he just came off the, Sweet 16 in 2023 of March Madness. And I thought it'd be a really cool film to make surrounding basketball. But what I didn't realize was that, not only was Blake a huge, very prominent player in Princeton history, he's also very connected to his faith as well. And so when I was highlighting, his achievements, also, the Jewish background to it during the October 7th attacks, I really saw this huge, like, kind of connection that he had other than basketball. And so although I also really wanted to show, the Palestinian conflict on Princeton's campus, I really shifted towards more of that route than just showing his achievements. I was only going to show the connection for, maybe 40% of the film, maybe, like around that area. But when I saw that bigger connection, I shifted the whole focus to only that piece. I introed with the March Madness part, but I was just trying to introduce him as a player. No one really saw him as a Jewish character in the community until after it shifted over. So I think that was really important when creating this film was just to show that connection to his faith.
What has his been reaction to the film?
Well, he's watched it a few times. I've chatted with him after. I think he really connected with the film, obviously from, me being able to capture his experiences on campus, and also him as a player. And I think it also kind of showed him the other side of himself too, because originally when I was talking to him, I don't think he really saw that I was going to really do this whole film about, his faith, other than his achievements. And so when he saw the film, I think that he kind of saw this new kind of perspective about himself that he might have not seen before.
This year has been really exhausting, following the news cycle, hearing people's flawed analysis of the whole situation. But I think sometimes people minimize our pain and suffering for whatever reason. And so at times that's been frustrating because sometimes we feel left out of the broader discourse, and we don't seek special attention, but we would just like to be treated as equals. As Jews, we're now very aware that it's only us, and so we have to continue to have each other's backs. And on Princeton, thankfully, things haven't been as hate-filled as Columbia.
If I understand correctly, he's also a senior this year.
Yeah.
And so you're both sort of finishing up a life stage and getting ready, both of you, to start a new stage of your life. So I thought that parallel was interesting. Have you seen your film with audiences?
Yes, I have. Actually, the other past weekend, I attended the Garden State Film Festival in New Jersey, out by Asbury Park. I'm not sure if you guys heard of it. It's one of the largest independent film festivals in New Jersey, and I had the opportunity to have it screened in a student block for that festival. So yeah, we it was played at Asbury Lanes with like a big, large group of people. I think it was about like 15 to 20 films in that block. And so that was the one time it was screened. And another time it was screened was at the Trenton Film Festival. I'm from Pennington, New Jersey. Trenton is like 10 minutes south of where I live. So they have like a small film festival as well there. My film did make it into other festivals as well, but I don't think it was screened online, but it wasn't screened exactly in person.
So what's it like sharing your film with an audience? It's one thing, I saw it via your website or on YouTube. What's it like seeing it with other people?
Honestly, it was such a great experience to see it on like a big screen. Throughout the past or ever since I've released the film, I've only seen it on like a computer screen or like like a projector that was played like in my TV class. This film was made for my TV class, and so that was the only time I've seen it like screened on like a whiteboard, for example, in my school. So when I went to like a film festival and seeing it played on this big screen with like all these speakers and stuff, you could really feel like more the sound effects and the visuals are more pleasing on a huger screen, and you see the audience around you and like their eyes just like locked on the screen. It's just a great feeling to see all these people really interacting and really taking in what you're showing them.
And you're a relatively new filmmaker. I mean, you're pretty young, but you've come to filmmaking really in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I started out only being a sports videographer in 2023, and during February, and I started making this film in like December. Like the idea came in like December 2023, and I didn't release it until like April, May 2024. So I only had like I mean, only, like learning about short films and stuff. I really only have like half a year of experience, like learning about short films. So that was my very first film I've ever created, and I'm really proud of what I did with such a short period of time of just coming into the industry and producing something like that. I thought was really special, and so yeah, I wish I had more experience in creating the film, but yeah, I'm a very relatively new filmmaker, and I'm always wanting to learn more.
I understand your father's a filmmaker,
Yeah, my he's a video producer, so he
video
owns a video
producer.
production company. However, he does more the business side than actually like editing or filming stuff like that. They're like a internal communications agency. They've done projects for like Pepsi and Subaru and stuff like that, most in like the corporate side, but he basically just runs everything. And then he has people who like he has like a head of like content and stuff like that who like does like the editing and stuff like that for him. Yeah, in 2023 he actually made this old 5D Mark III, which I actually have over here. I don't use it
Oh,
anymore. I use it for photography sometimes when I don't want to use my other camera, but yeah, he's been a huge help and influence in helping me really get the resources I need to make films and really get to where I wanted to be, especially.
I understand you're going to be continuing your film career in school next year. You want to tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I actually recently just committed to Syracuse University for television, radio, and film in the Newhouse School for Communications. And I'm really looking forward to creating more short film documentaries, as well as maybe feature-length documentaries in the future. I know Syracuse is a prominent status in um, like sports filmmaking. They have like clubs such as 44 Films, which makes like those like 30 for 30 films that NFL Network makes. And I'm also looking forward to also participating in their athletics department, maybe doing video content for them. So I'm really looking forward to attending Syracuse and learn more.
Because you're a very talented sports videographer. Do you see yourself combining your love of sports and your sports videography talent with filmmaking in the future? Possibly if something, again, feature length or something with sports and film?
Yeah, I definitely see myself combining these two things together, as you've seen with the basketball with the Blake Peters film I just made a little back. I definitely want to create more of those in the future, like more sports documentaries kind of thing. Recently, I actually, with my dad, had the opportunity to film the Major League Table Tennis championship. So we made like a short documentary. Like I filmed it recently. It probably won't be released until later on, but I just had the opportunity to film that. But yeah, in the future, I definitely want to still do this. I want to definitely combine these two areas and make more sports documentaries, and especially tap into maybe, NFL Network or, the NBA side. I think that'd be really cool to make stuff for them.
I try to embrace my Jewish identity on campus. That's why, I'm involved with the Jewish Student Athlete Collective. I'm adhering to, Passover and going to high holiday services. It's a part of my identity that I don't want to lose just because I play basketball. Like, I'll skip practice if there's services. We get Christmas off, but they're not giving us Rosh Hashanah off. I'm the only Jew on the team, but I'm Jewish, so I'm going to adhere to that.
Do you possibly see yourself doing anything with Jewish content again, as you did with Anything's Possible?
Yeah, I definitely wanted to keep my faith close and definitely create more videos such as that. I know my dad wants to get into contact with Bruce Pearl, who is he's a Auburn coach. He was a Jewish coach who led the team to the Final Four this year. I think we really want to create something like maybe like a documentary or something with him. So I think that would be really cool. And I think just surfacing these videos and raising awareness and really just showing the Jewish people and their strength. I think I also really love to like maybe in the future when Israel is safe and like more safe with the war with the conflict ending with Palestine. I think it'd be really cool to maybe create a video on that. I was thinking about like maybe making like a documentary on like that conflict or something like that. I think would be really cool.
Now, I think up to date, Anything's Possible is your longest film, and it clocks in, I think, around 4 minutes. Are you looking forward to longer forms, or are you going to stay in the short form variety?
So at the moment, I think I want to stick with short form documentaries. Just because of the resources I have, it's more like convenient for me to make those. I think in the future, if I have like more production team, I would love to create more feature length sports documentaries or documentaries in general. I think that'd be very interesting. But yeah, as an independent filmmaker, I find it kind of difficult at times to really have those resources to make a future length. So staying at the shorter side is just better for like how I'm doing right now.
Well, I wish you nothing but the best. Have a great end to your senior year. Nail those AP exams, and best of luck next year in Syracuse.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.